All right, welcome to another episode of the Couch Coaches podcast where we talk about everything going on in sports. And we unfortunately have to talk about how the Niners can't seem to beat a team in their division, which is frustrating because our division's not very good. And we were at home. And Brother Bill, I'm going to start with you because you saw it in person. I got to watch it at home where I could just be angry and say bad words and turn my TV off and take my flag down and throw my hat. But you had to be at the stadium. So please tell it. Just yeah, whatever. So
Going into the game, and I usually say this every week, is you have to control line of scrimmage. And for some reason, the 49ers offensive line just got manhandled in the run game in a way I don't know the last time I saw by a Seattle team that they can usually dominate. I mean, that was an atypical poor performance by the offensive line in the run blocking. Pass blocking, I don't know when we're going to get a right tackle who can actually pass block. Because Colton McKivitz is just not getting it done. The other issue that we saw, the fans around us, and we saw during the whole course of the game, is once again Kyle Shanahan was very predictable in what he was going to run. It just seemed like first down, run the ball. Second down, pass the ball. Then you're in third and long, run the ball. There was nothing to keep the defense guessing. And I don't know what shows on TV if you could see all of Seattle secondary, but they stayed in cover two coverage for the whole game. And they were daring the 49ers to try to take a deep shot, and they never did. There were no screen plays offensively. If the 49ers don't make a decision in the offseason to bring an offensive coordinator, then it's going to be more of the same next year. Because Kyle Shanahan, we said it last year, he was figured out, and there was just no deception for the offense. Defense played as well as it could, but once again, you have the ball of you have a 4-minute offense to close out the game, and the 49ers offensively couldn't do it, 3 and out. It was a frustrating loss.
Deacon Hill, thoughts on you obviously hate to see us losing too. I can tell by your smirk.
I just love it. I've been trying to tell you guys this the whole season that you're going nowhere, that you guys are delusional, but you just don't want to listen to me. But I just want to say this. Okay, first of all, Bill is going to talk about you guys didn't throw no deep passes. I've been telling him that his quarterback is about average at best. If he has all his weapons, if he has McCaffrey and he has his tight end and all that, he looks pretty decent. But he's not a difference maker. He got to have everything and extra to be that quarterback to be able to move the ball down the field and things like that. So you can get rid of that, and then plus I heard he got a sore shoulder. So and you guys are gonna be in trouble going on the road. So you guys are gonna be sitting at home with the Raiders. I've just been trying to tell you guys that the whole year, but you don't want to listen. But reality is starting to sink in with your Niners. And far as you guys want to just throw your coach under the bus all the time. He can only do what he has. He got that personnel that he has. He does the best he can with them. So you guys might as well get used to it.
Andy Reid is doing it with Kansas City when they lost receivers left and right, and it wasn't until they went to Buffalo and they finally lost the game. At some point, again, it's one thing to be a coach. It's one thing to be a good head coach. But you earn your paycheck in seasons like this where you find a way to draw up the play. You have a week to prepare for a division rival. At some point, you got to do something offensively to keep the defense guessing, and he didn't do that. It's not about weapons. It's about scheme. He does not change the scheme.
That was blasphemy, Bill. Do not mention Patrick Mahomes and Purdy in the same doggone category.
I'm not talking about quarterback. I'm talking about...
That's the difference. That is the difference between...
Disagree. If you can get to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, then you can win a game against Seattle with Brock Purdy. And even though, what the issue, if you watch the game, was they only ran the ball with Jordan Mason once. And with him in the game, he's a power runner between the tackles. And if he can even get 4 yards on a run and play, that sets it up second and third down. And they just didn't do that. They played McCaffrey way too much, and the defense knew what they were going to run. It's scheme. It isn't about anything else. It's even when you're down players, because every team is going to be down players. You got to.
I just want to make one last comment to Joe. I was telling, what was that you said about Geno Smith is what? And then he ran that. Did he put you guys to sleep? Did I see this? Did I actually see Gino do this to the
Yeah, you saw him
How
do that.
dare,
You know
how
what?
dare he use Curry stuff
Let
against
him
us?
have his moment in the sun. Seattle's not going anywhere either.
what?
So
Sunday was their Super Bowl because he finally beat us. Whatever.
so I think the big thing that makes people outside the Niners fan base make us they look at us crazy. But the issue is it's obviously Kyle's been successful, but the mistakes that it's the same thing over and over and over. You have Mason, who was like the top four running backs when McCaffrey's out. McCaffrey comes back. At least they should be wearing down the defense in the first half and just give McCaffrey the ball in the second half because they'll be tired and McCaffrey will be fresh and they can go. A wide receiver's out. You have Jawan Jennings. You have third and Jawan is his freaking nickname. And with the game on the line, you throw it to Debo, who's not a route runner. He's a dude that you dump the ball to in space and let him do his thing. He's not a route runner, yet you're passing it to him with the game on the line. It's stuff like that where you go, Kyle, and I can't think of the right comparison. Like Kyle is like, like the one I was thinking of today is Kyle's like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is a highly skilled basketball player, but Allen Iverson does what he does, and you have to try to stop him. Well, Kyle is a highly successful coach who does what he does, and you have to stop him. The problem is people are stopping him. They know what he's going to run. They know what he's not going to run. And we're watching our stuff just get stuffed, usually in big games. Now we're watching it get stuffed in division games that you cannot lose.
Well, look,
I told you, y'all like Moses.
What?
You like Moses? I told y'all that like Moses. You got modern day Buffalo Bills. Can't get to the promised land. Can't get to the promised land.
no, don't give them that much credit. They're not. At least the Bills got there 3 times in a row. They're not. They're not the Bills. No.
Well, okay,
But-
so we've been there 7. We lost the last 2. The issue is with this current scheme. I'm telling you, if the 49ers miss the playoffs and Kyle Shanahan is back next year, then I'm going to lay that on Jed York because in a division that is this weak, you have everything in front of you to just win the division to get in the playoffs. So if you feel, I'm not talking about trying to win the Super Bowl, forget that. I'm talking about just to get in the tournament. If they fail to get in the tournament, Shanahan's got to go.
You're not getting in the tournament. You're in last place in your division. You already lost 3 to the 3 teams. But let me just say this, Joe. You're going to say that they threw the ball to Debo. Who else were they supposed to throw the ball to?
Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, I mean,
you run the scheme play for Jawan Jennings, who's the guy that gets you the third down, first downs every time you need it because the dude's a freaking animal, and you don't use him. You don't use him how you should. He's like a great number 2 on another team, and you don't use him. It's insane when you need it's insane.
Well, you pay all the money to Debo, and that's the guy you're going to go to.
No,
it has nothing to do with money. Forget money. What they say when you have a go-to player, you give them the ball.
Go to them.
Yeah. That's why they're go-to, and he's proven.
Well, why did they pay Debo all that money then? Why did they pay Debo all that money?
Because he got him to the playoffs with that one dump pass from Jimmy G 4 years ago.
The money's already spent. That was about trying to win a division game on Sunday. Forget the money that you spent on Debo. If the objective is you play to win the game, you drop the play to get your money player the ball.
That's your money player. Thank you.
Well,
and the money player is Jawan Jennings.
Well, and I will say there was another level. Like we watched Kyle kind of do the same thing in the Super Bowl again last year, but there was one other level to Kyle that we went, wait a minute, before the season, and that was paying Ayuk so much money. That was paying Ayuk as for something that Ayuk is not, for something that we don't even use Ayuk as, and we still paid him that money. Why? Because he knows the freaking stupid blocking schemes of Kyle Shanahan. And
what was that argument you guys were having today about firing Lynch? And I was loving that.
Okay, so what I've noticed on the radio, and people on the radio, they hear stuff behind the scenes, and then they start projecting stuff out there. I have never heard this before today. I'm hearing a lot of stuff. Well, Lynch traded all those guys to get Trey Lance, and Lynch signed Debo, and Lynch didn't pick. Lynch doesn't he doesn't have final say on the roster. It's Kyle. But the fact that they're putting that out there, the big change that's going to happen in the offseason if we don't make the playoffs, Lynch is gone. And it'll be Kyle, and Kyle come back and we'll do the same crap again next year. That's what I was saying, because I was like, this is weird. I'm hearing Lynch's name a lot, and the only reason that would come out is because people are like, it's Lynch is going to go. It's going to be Lynch's turn. That's what it is. It shouldn't be. I mean, Lynch just does what Kyle wants. There's no way a rightful thinking person would have been, we need to pay Ayuk $30 million a year. That's Kyle going, hey man, he knows all my blocking schemes. Who are going to come in and block for me? So you pay him like a number one. 2 number ones. We have 2 number ones on our team. And we have the absolute worst separation rate in football. It's not Purdy. It's Kyle. But he's got us to the Super Bowl.
I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. So
Yeah, of course, yeah. There's a saying that misery loves company. So of course, Raider fans are loving all this because the Raider fans have, their expectations were watched out after they beat the Ravens. That was a Super Bowl. So now, of course, you're gonna.
I hear about that game more than any other game. Everybody goes, man, the Ravens are so good. They go, but they lost to the Raiders, and you're like, yeah.
Well, we beat the Chiefs last year too, and they won the Super Bowl. So
that part.
You guys will probably beat them this year too. Yeah, there's the in-conference games that just. What do you do? So, speaking of misery loves company, Raiders got blown up by the Dolphins, and we can discuss that. Brother James, I'm going to start with you. Now that you're done with dinner, we need to talk about maybe getting a little healthier diet. There, I saw that. We need to. I appreciate you and want you around for a long time, and you can't be eating that. But let's talk about Raiders Dolphins. You guys got blown out.
Yeah, we got blown out. We got beat.
Blowout.
We got beat.
20 points.
We got beat. What else to say? But we got beat. I mean, unlike y'all, we understand. Okay, we suck. We gonna get beat. The Dolphins ain't a bad team, but they're not one of the best teams. I mean, they got Tyreek Hill. They got weapons.
They have tons of weapons.
And so. That was expected. That was something that was expected. It wasn't a deal of, oh, we go in there with a chance. My deal is that I'm curious about the changes they're gonna make. Are they gonna
head coach?
Is the coach gone? I mean, I know his job is on the line, but the deal of it is this is really his just first season. Mm-hmm. So do you bail on him on the first season?
I would.
Or do you give him a shot next season? Okay, but then at the same time, you got to do what it takes to win. You got at this point, you got to do stuff that's drastic to turn the culture around. But then at the same time, you got to be fair. So if you do fire him this year, then the next person that comes in line has a year to fix it. If not, he should be gone too.
So I've heard. So talking about the Raiders, I've heard of 2 coaches that have come up that, to me, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd be like, that sounds pretty good. One's Mike Vrabel. He'll come in and clean up the defense, and he seems to be pretty good at picking offensive coordinators. And 2, they were talking about a Sanders package. So you get Dion, and Dion's talk about a dude on the upswing for coaching. You get Dion, and you also get Shador, because they think that's going to be a package. They were also talking about the Cowboys. I don't see Jerry giving anybody that head coaching title that can take shine off of him. So I doubt that. But Vrabel or Sand, I mean, I don't know. Deacon Hill, what do you I mean, obviously we know where the Raiders are. We're starting to see where the Niners are.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to fire the coach right now. I'd give him, like they said, Campbell for the Lions. He was like 3-13 or something his first season. Coaches don't come out of the gate, on fire. And I look at his roster. That quarterback is awful. He has no quarterback.
Partner.
He has no running game. The top running back, Master, he had like 20-something yards or 30-something yards. They have no running game. They have no identity, no whatsoever. Only thing they have is Brock Bowers as a tight end. That's the only weapon they have on offense. So they need to get some draft picks. They need to get a quarterback in there, and they need to. I was interested to see how the offensive coordinator we brought back Norv Turner. And he had a couple little scheme things. He had some things he was trying to work on. He has nothing to work with, though. He don't have the talent on the field. So you gotta have personnel. So I would look at that before I just go start cleaning the house with the coaches and stuff. You get a guy another I give him another shot next year. Get him a quarterback in there, a real offensive coordinator if you want to stay with Norv or whatever. But get a real quarterback and get a running game. Get a real running back or something. They gotta fix those two things, and give it a shot before you start cleaning the house.
Yeah,
Because the defense is okay, but the deal of it is every game they're tired.
yeah. There's too much pressure from the off because the offense isn't good enough. Yeah.
They stayed on the field so long, and then when they give the offense the ball, they don't do anything with it. So you get discouraged.
Exactly.
So.
But at least we're in reality. See, we're not in that delusional land of the Niners.
No, we suck.
I'm gonna stay.
We know.
I'm gonna stay in delusional land for a little.
They
while.
do too. They do too, but they don't know it.
2 more weeks. I'm gonna stay in delusional.
Yeah.
5-5. We're 1 game out of the division.
You're in last place in your division, Bill. You're in the same place that the Raiders are.
It's week 11. There's still 6 games left.
You've lost to every team in your division.
Lost in the division today.
So Bill, what you gonna do? Win out? You gonna win out, Bill?
Hey, and look,
y'all gonna lose the next 2 games.
I just looked at the Rams. The quarterback is playing good. The Rams are their injury. Their players are coming back. Yep. They're playing well. So the Rams are gonna get you guys again. And Kyle Murray down there in Arizona is on fire.
Arizona gonna get y'all again.
Gonna get him again.
George Kittle was sorely missed on Sunday. Sorely missed. Forget how Kittle.
And then let's talk about your pass rusher. I seen him lift off the field too. What's going on with him?
Well, Bosa, he'll be back.
He's got that hip point.
Bosa messed up when he had that hat on, talking about "Make America Great Again."
Like I said, misery loves company.
That's why he walked off the field all limped up.
I will say this though, I am looking forward to next season already. Normally, I don't circle games a season before, but I've already circled. I don't know what week it's going to be when the Oakland, LA, Vegas Raiders come to Levi Stadium. I'm already circling it.
Come to play the Santa Clara Niners?
No, Santa Clara 49ers. I can't wait. And I hope it don't cost us a friendship over this because it's going to be rocking. So
it don't cost us a friendship. We're gonna put some wager on it, Bill. When we beat y'all,
okay,
you got to wear a Raiders jersey to the church.
I'll never. That will never happen.
Okay, well let's put it on it. I'll wear a Niners jersey if y'all win.
Okay.
This sounds like a pretty good bet. I like this bet.
Okay.
I like this bet a lot. This is a good one. All right, so to get away from the negativity around our teams, Steelers are in first place with Russell Wilson.
He wasn't done.
Are they for real? Is it because Tomlin will have great records during the season and then they just get bounced first round. Russell Wilson's he's still, he's only throwing for like 180 yards. 200. I mean, he's not like lighting it up. Their defense is obviously good. Defense is always good. Deacon Hill, I'm going to start with you. Are the Steelers, are they like a legitimate top 4 potential AFC championship team?
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far to say that they're legit. I'm starting to pay attention to them, but like you said, they don't have the Buffalo Bills. They don't have that quarterback. They don't. So no, I wouldn't really take them serious yet. But they're very surprising. I would say that, but I wouldn't put them in the top 4 in the AFC. I think people are Baltimore. They always fall on their face, but they're going to be there in the end. I think Baltimore is going to be a top team. Of course, you got Buffalo, and then who else is? Well, you got KC. So yeah, no, I think Pittsburgh is going to be like Cinderella, and that slipper is going to come off, and they're going to come back down to earth.
Yeah, Brother Bill.
I think Pittsburgh has shown that with a scheme they have offensively, a grinded out scheme, and a good defense, you can win close games. That's what's got them this 8-2 record. They're not blowing teams away. They had a matchup advantage for somehow against the Ravens at Pittsburgh. I mean, it's not, I don't know what it is. In some teams, you just match up well. They match up well against the Ravens. They were able to control the Ravens' running game, even with Derrick Henry. And so,
Well,
are
he
they
only ran the ball 13 times. I don't know what they were. I don't know what the Ravens were
exactly
doing.
right? So to answer your question, are they contenders after 10 games? They definitely have a. They're looking at like they can get in the tournament. How far they go, I I can't see them getting to the AFC Championship. I can't see that yet, for the same reasons that Deacon Hill mentioned. What I will say though about the Ravens, we're talking about the Ravens will be there. Not with that last place pass defense. If the Ravens don't fix that pass defense, they could get bounced in the wild card round, even with Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson doesn't play defense. They got to do something with that defense.
Brother James.
Well. Pittsburgh has a great defense, and we always say defense win championships. And I watched that game this weekend, and and they ran the ball, and Russell Wilson with his experience. I mean, he's not the Russell Wilson of old, but he's still a little bit. He's still somewhat agile. I don't think it's hard to say though, but I don't think that they're Super Bowl tenders. I do believe they get probably in the second round of the playoffs, but they're gonna be facing too much weight in Kansas City, Baltimore, and all that. So those teams their cylinders all popping straight good right now, and it's only gonna get better as the season goes. And so, I don't have that much faith in Russell Wilson being able to maintain the level of play that he's been playing in.
Yeah, I think it's very funny that Russ complained about the Seahawks, leaves the Seahawks, sucks on the Broncos for 2 years, and then is basically back on the Seahawks with the scheme that they run. He's doing the exact same thing that he was doing with the Seahawks, and he's complaining. That's obviously the role that he's able to succeed in. Run the ball a lot.
I wouldn't say that, because when he was successful with the Seahawks, they had the Legion of Boom.
No, that's what I'm saying though. I mean, but the Steelers have a great defense.
I know, but when he started complaining when that defense went away. When they were winning, he wasn't complaining. When the Legion of Boom was carrying that team, Russ wasn't complaining. So now he's back in that position again where he got a defense. He's not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, but Seattle's. I mean, there wasn't the Legion of Boom his first couple of years, but they were still a very good defense and a defensive focused team. I mean, which is what I mean. Russ was just the OC killer, and people come in and stuff, and they would do okay, and then the OC was. I've never seen a top tier quarterback lose OCs like that. Usually they become head coaches. The thing that gets me is I don't know who the problem is in Baltimore when they play Kansas City and Pittsburgh, and maybe it's like some other, like when they play in the bigger games. I don't know if it's Lamar or if it's the OC or what's going, like, so they run way less and they make Lamar throw way more, and then like Lamar gets in his head and then he doesn't perform as well, but then they're also not running the ball as much as they do when Lamar, like, to me, when they're comfortable, and I can't see what defense could possibly stop them.
Well, you answered your own question though. It's the OC. The OC is the one that's up there calling them plays.
But is Lamar,
and then on top of
Lamar
that,
checking out of run plays into pass plays, or are they calling pass plays?
well, the go into that, as far as with them playing Pittsburgh, their games are always decided within a touchdown, less than 7 points every time they play.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be a real tough game. That game can always go either or. I think, like Deacon Greg said, I think it's the OC as far as the play calling in some aspects in those games, because you have a beast like Derrick Henry, you only give him the ball 12 times. I'm sorry, bro. At the minimum, he's gonna get 25 touches.
Right. Especially in the game that's going to determine who's in first place in your division.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see like resting him against something, but that's what you got. You got him to wear down TJ Watt, because TJ Watt, you only get hit by Derrick Henry so many times before you stop hitting Derrick Henry. He's a big dude coming very, very fast at you. It's like it's a different team. When they lost to Kansas City, in the playoffs last year, it's like a different team. When they lose to Pittsburgh, it's like, where did the team go that we've watched?
Yeah, it's almost like you're right. Situationally, against certain teams, the Ravens get away from what they are. Against Pittsburgh, they got away from what they are, a smash mouth physical team. Derrick Henry, 20 plus carries. They got away from that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. And maybe it's a thing where they're like, we know how hard of a game this is, so when we've been using the heck out of Derrick Henry, maybe we don't go really heavy right now against this team that's gonna be, and maybe Derrick Henry has got some. There's got to be some lingering something. They've been using him like crazy. It's surprising to watch them lose because when they're on, they look absolutely unstoppable.
Or maybe they're waiting on the playoff.
Yeah, maybe they're saving it for Kansas City. All right, last subject. I don't know if any of you guys are LSU fans, but if I were an
No.
LSU fan, I'd be very mad at the amount of money that they're paying Brian Kelly for the results that they're getting. And my thing is, if you have somebody like Urban Meyer just sitting there, and it looks like I thought Urban was going to go to Texas, but Texas looks like they're doing so well that he's not that's not going to open up. Urban Meyer's just sitting there. I think it'd be hard to keep Kelly. Brother James, I'm gonna start with you. If you're LSU, do you stick with this super high priced coach, or do you adios him and go get somebody else?
Well, he's been there how many years?
This is third year.
Third year.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, with 3 years, I would have to see some difference in the win column. And if it's not, then yeah, I'm gonna go search for someone else. But then at the same time, you gotta think about, is he under contract?
yeah, but their boosters will just write a check.
Okay. Well, if that'd be the case, then yeah, I would search for another coach.
Deacon Hill, you look. Is that a no?
I would say no because I was just looking at the figures. Uh, they're on the hook for this year. He's on the hook. He can make up to $10 million this year just by making it to the bowl game, and he's going to make a bowl game already.
So to make any bowl game, he gets 10 million.
He gets 9.7 or something, and then if he gets a certain bowl, he gets up to 10 million, and then his buyout for next year is 61 million, 61 million 700. And I
He
seen him
ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
yeah, he
might
ain't
be
going
staying
nowhere.
another year. Yeah,
When they hired him, they were showing the campus and they were showing the neighborhoods around it how poor it is, and they were talking about how much money that they're pouring into this program, and the residents and that is just a poor neighborhood, you know, everything is poor there, and they're putting all this money in this man's pocket. They're not giving him no $60 million to walk away. That they couldn't pay him. They couldn't swallow 61 million and then bring in another high price coach without that area going crazy. They were already crazy when they hired him the first time. So no, I don't think he's going anywhere. They can't eat that money.
yeah, brother Bill.
No, I agree. Yes, and it's unfortunate that the performance of the team and the success of the team is going to be based on financials. Financially, can't cut them loose, so they're stuck with them. I mean, they made the poor financial decision to sign him for all the money they did at the outset, and so now they're stuck. And if the team, okay, you get to a bowl game, and maybe you in the bowl game, but what's that say for next year? Again, if you, to me, as wide open as many bowls as there are, 20 something, almost 30 something, to me, making a bowl, I mean, who does that really satisfy? Does that satisfy the boosters or the athletic director? So as a fan, I would expect more, but they're stuck. I mean, Urban Meyer's, yeah, I can't, they're not going to eat 60 million bucks and bring in Urban Meyer. Not like he's going to make a big difference.
It's wild to me when you have something like he was. I mean, for being at Notre Dame, he was very successful. Like Notre Dame's like Stanford. Like it's a hard school to like they have to qualify to get into the school and then also be good enough to play competitive football.
Did he win a national championship?
No, but he went to one.
He wasn't very successful. He was successful.
Well, but winning a national championship at Notre Dame would be nuts. I mean, but he was always like top five. I mean, they were good for a good number of years. And it's like looking at him not working at LSU as well as they thought, and then like a guy like Lincoln Riley, you would think he would just crush at USC, and he's not crushing at USC at all. It's just crazy how you can be very successful at one school, and it doesn't click the same way.
Well,
But see that goes into the point of the coach before you. Are those your recruits or are somebody else's recruits?
Well, I don't even
You
mean
look at
initially. I don't mean
you look
this is 3 years later.
Stanford. I mean, you look at Stanford. There was all Harbaugh when Harbaugh's recruits left. Stanford wasn't even talked about anymore.
Yeah, but Shaw was still held in a really high regard. I mean, as if they were still really good. I mean, they were still, they
wasn't good at all. Once Harbaugh's people left.
Yeah, they were okay. I mean, but they weren't. I mean, obviously, you lose Andrew Luck. I mean, that was probably the biggest piece of his success was having one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Yeah, but and with Kelly, he goes from Notre Dame, which what they're like an independent, to go to in the SEC. That's that's what when you're playing like competition every week and week in and week out. That you got a lot of stuff on your plate. So you can win some games with Notre Dame because they're playing. They play a few top teams, but then they play
Not really.
these teams that nobody knows of. So yeah, that makes a big difference. And they close out the season with Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, and both of those games are home games. So, but they're saying that they said there's no basement at LSU. So either you're on the top or you're nowhere. And the fans are not going to buy this. They might end up with they're 6-4 right now. They might end up with 8-4 record, but the fans are not going to be happy anyway.
Well, and Vanderbilt's not Vanderbilt this year either. So I mean, that could be. I think I'm sure Oklahoma won't be too big of an issue, but Vanderbilt's
No, they not.
And
They
Bill,
trash.
Bill, you were talking about next year. I heard that he had the number one quarterback had signed with him, but now he's backing out, so he ain't gonna get that. He may not get that top quarterback.
So at LSU,
LSU, he had the number one recruiting quarterback coming to LSU, but now he's backing out.
Well, that's the other, talking about money. So not only are they paying him $10 million a year, but how big is their NIL pot? Because that's another 20 million, 25 million a year that they're paying the players so they don't leave and go to another school. I mean, I bet you that's a pretty fat a pretty fat amount also.
wait, the college has to pay, the university has to pay the students that?
No, but it's the boosters. Like the boosters getting together to like build up the NIL stuff.
Oh.
I mean,
It's not even just the boosters too. It's anybody. It could be local businessmen, or anybody.
Yeah. But I mean, but I'm assuming the local. If you're paying NIL, you're probably in that booster like pool. I would think.
Yeah.
Just because why would you care if they go to LSU? Pay them to go someplace else. All right. Well, I hope we win Green Bay. We're only a 1.5 point dog. Who the Raiders got this week?
Do they have the Chiefs? I think the Raiders have the Chiefs.
Nice.
Well, at least cover. Another thing I've noticed about the 49ers, it seems like when the Niners are more than a 5-point favorite, that's a problem to me.
Well, we've been a favorite every game this year.
What's that?
This is the first game for a dog. We've been a favorite every single game.
Right, but the point is, I'm starting to get suspicious that there's something going on. I never want to say a coach is throwing a game, but it just seems like to play the way.
Yep.
I'm not going there yet. We'll see what happens within the season.
I'm there. There's something
we have Denver.
Let me tell you what's going on. You guys are no good, okay? That's what's going on, okay?
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, we have Denver.
We got Denver.
Denver did really good last week, so
Yeah.
they won't do good this week. You guys should be in good shape.
Where's the game?
Hey,
Is it here? Is it here? Is it in Vegas or Denver?
I thought we played already.
I don't know. I just know we played it.
Denver.
Come on, y'all supposed to be fans of your own team and don't even know who you're
Hey
playing
man, I
with.
wouldn't pay. If I were you guys, I wouldn't pay attention.
It's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Okay, you're supposed to know these things right off the top of your head. I know. Hey, we play Green Bay kickoffs at 125. You got to know these things. It's got to click. Come on, man.
Hey, we don't have to know where they play at. We know when we play.
That's because you already know the result. That's true.
I mean, You know,
That-
Bill.
That's got Bill and Joe still got their Super Bowl tickets. That's what their whole
Yeah, look, they
that's
went
why
about Super Bowl tickets to
they
go
got every game circled.
Not dead
watch
yet.
Baltimore, Baltimore
Not dead yet.
play.
We are not dead yet.
Yeah, I would say one thing though. There's not a lot of people are talking about the Bills, yet. I mean, yes, they beat the Chiefs. Someone's going to beat the Chiefs. Chiefs were going to go undefeated. It was going to happen sooner or later. I do like though the Bills' defense. I mean, if they're going to get the Super Bowl, as much as it's not going to be because of the quarterback. It's going to be because of that defense and the running game.
That quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, those run plays don't hurt though.
I'm
The
telling you,
quarterback helps, but he's not going to be the key. Is the
Baltimore going to the Super Bowl.
Nah,
Baltimore's not going to make the Super Bowl. Not with that defense.
Chiefs are going to take him out again.
Yeah.
Y'all was talking about the Niners was going to be there.
They'll be there. Don't worry.